All right, all right, all right. You already know who it is. The big man, Father Moo on the microphone. The big man in the big church. Sure feels like a church in here with this reverb on. What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming out. Thank you for taking time on another Sunday morning to be here with the congregation. I'm having a great time seeing all the January patches going up. I hope some of my listeners out there who are also musicians are posting their stuff. But there's just so much good stuff. Like, I mean, not all of it, but a huge amount of it is extremely good. And so many people dragging out so many weird instruments. I love the chompy. I love the new pocket operator thingy, but there's people with like Akai 900 samplers and crazy old pieces of gear, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I've seen some people doing screen capture, kind of like what I do, except they're running Pure Data or Max for Live and all these other, sequencing programs that I don't really understand how to use, but I'm impressed by how they sound, especially Pure Data. Damn. But we still managed to squeeze in a few Nord micromodular streams this month, and they've actually done a lot better than my January videos. I'm fine with that. I really am. I let everybody enjoy what they want to enjoy. So we did some techno earlier. I was going to do another track in that genre, but I had a different idea, so I decided to go and to do some digital dub today. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'll start with this 8-input mixer. Certainly we'll have 4 or 5 voices today. There's a couple ideas I want to get down on the board while I still remember them. Let's go ahead and drop some modules. Well, one of the things I wanted to do was to include chords and to include them on the cheap if I could. So I think, although I'm going to build this first, although it may not be the first thing I actually program. But this is how I'm going to make my cheap chords. So we're going to have one standard sort of clock today. We won't be doing too much timing weirdness. Dub, I'm going to drop it to maybe 80 something here. That seems about right. And we'll take a note sequencer. Now, programming monophonic sequences on a note sequencer is fast and easy. Chords present a sort of new problem, and I think it's fair to say that the modular synth as a whole isn't really set up to do chords. Chords are not its strong point, let's say. But that said, if you look at the modern offerings from Eurorack, you can actually see quite a lot of so-called polyphonic modular setups that they have. And they make it work. So you can get a keyboard nowadays that has like 4-note polyphony, and you can get a bunch of oscillators and filters that are all set up to deliver that, so that you could have very, very similar settings on the oscillators and on the filters and envelopes, so that they kind of just sound like a normal polysynth. But then once you got that set up, you can go in and mess with it and make weirder sounds. So certainly that can be done in Eurorack. My Eurorack is not built to do that. But sometimes we cheat. And in the Eurorack, I like to cheat with braids, because braids has a 4-note chord setting. Today I'm cheating with just 2 oscillators. But this is my little setup for cheap chords. So I've tuned my notes to E and G. So it's going to be a minor third, typical for a lot of dub stuff. I don't know what all the settings are going to be, but I'm going to open up the decay right off the bat, because I want it to ring out and not just sound like conga drums. And then what I'm going to do, going back to the note sequencer, I'm just going to take the second half of it and drop it all down an octave. Which will take a few boring seconds while I tap some arrows. It would be faster if I had knobs, but whatever. So many trade-offs between the hardware and the digital modular. I mean, just patch saving alone on digital is a huge thing. But anyway, so these guys are tuned to their minor third, and every time the sequencer is in the second half of its rotation, they're going to be dropped down an octave. So we'll just wire the same output into the pitch input of both of them and just max it out. And yeah, so that way we'll get a two-note chord, and then a few beats later we'll get another two-note chord playing an octave lower. And with that in mind, we're also going to need a sequencer. We're going to need a few today. So I think for now I'm going to run this sequencer on the normal time, the note sequencer, but I might run it slower depending on how well my whole deal works out here. So let's just set these to, oops, oh wait, yeah. I was looking for an envelope to send them to, but with Percussion Oscillator, the envelope is already part of the package, so you just send the trigger right into here. There we go. I can hear it. I don't know if that's what I'm going to want as a digitizer in the end of the mix, or if I want a filter. But let's start. Let's make these a little bit longer. You might be hearing those as 1 and 3, but they're actually going to be syncopated, as you'll soon hear. So let's go ahead and make, we're going to need some drums today. And we're going to need a bass line because it's dub. It's all about the bass line. We just decided to build the chords first just to get that on the board while I'm still semi-conscious. So here's our kick. It's definitely not the right. Okay, and I'm going to tweak that a little bit. Let's just mute these bad boys for a second. I got all this reverb on the patch, so I'm going to take the decays down, and then I'm going to pitch them down. Nice. That's about as low as any kick drum can reasonably go. So you're hearing all the reverb on the kick now. You're probably just going to blend into everything else when you hear it later. I hear what's happening now. I need to drop a couple of these down because the decay is lasting so long that the end part of it is getting pitched up. So there we go. Okay, now on to the bass line. So bass line is going to need another of each of them. He's going to need note seek B, our favorite, and also an event sequencer. And let me just do a little programming of the sequencer even before I have it on board yet. Once I get an idea in my head, I just want to go ahead and do it, even if it's not in the order of operations. Sometimes you just got to trust your instincts, I guess. 12 minus 24. And let's try that. Okay, great. I almost wanted to do just pure sine wave bass today. When I started listening to one of my great musical heroes, Pole, I was so fascinated with his bass sounds. A lot of it turned out, I think, to just be very, very carefully programmed sine wave bass lines. And when I say very, very carefully, I mean it. But let's see what we can do with this one today. Just a single sine wave. Probably dropping down 2 octaves all the way down to E2. So we're in E minor today, although I'm usually in C or C major. They need to be hooked up. And they're going to need some... We got a lot of stuff going on in these first few steps here. I have to take some of these out. Let's refresh my memory here. Okay. So I can take that out. Let's see what we get. Oh, this isn't on. There we go. Nice. I already want to turn the tempo down. Some of those are just way too low to be logical. Maybe I should just pitch his whole body up an octave. Here we go. And then these guys will have to go back down. I wonder if I could even, let's try this. Still not quite there on the kick. Maybe if I kill some of my crazy huge reverb. What's this channel? It's not the reverb's fault. I'm just getting a kick that's a bit too slappy when it should be a bit more like thuddy. Let me see if I can keep... Oh. What about my hidden last kick? That might do the job. Good, okay, great. I don't think I'm going to keep it on 4 on the floor, but that helped me to program it. I like doing this. I like having it like doing 16th notes that interacts with the bass line So you kind of can't tell what's the bass line and what's the kick. This is very close to how I kind of wanted it to sound. We're still at only three. Well, we got 3 inputs in the mixer. We got 4 voices, I guess. Let's do a little bit with percussion and see if we can get some more juice going here. Although I really do like this simplistic, minimal little piece of whatever it is. Dub is what it is. Should be obvious. There. Oh, you know what? We can use a clock pattern generator. So we do have the second channel of this here to do patterns on. Which is going to be which here? Okay, well, one of them I want to use a cymbal, like a hi-hat. And one of them I want to do a little bit of percussion stuff. I don't know if it'll be an actual tom. It'll probably be in this area, the perk area. Let's hook this up to here. Give him a pattern, and we'll just reset them all here. Kind of obvious, but let's just try this. Oh, we need to plug it into the mixer. Thank you very much. I'm just jamming here for a minute or two, don't mind me. So, trying to tie in with my 16th note theme that I've got going here, I'm going to try putting them in on the 7 and 8. And I'm going to fall back on that old trick we saw before. Let's put a logic processor here, and we'll use exclusive OR. So again, I don't want the 2 toms to play on the same beat, but one of them is randomized. So I'm going to take the other beat here, and this says if A is playing, then don't allow a sound to pass through. Why is it doing that? I have no... Oh, I guess I know why. One of these... Maybe because this one is blue. I'm not sure. But as soon as this gate is so short, as soon as it finishes, it's allowing the second note through. Okay, that's not going to quite work for me. Let's send a... This might work. I'll just recycle this CV to mess with the patterns. What's another way I could do this? Maybe I could... back to logic. There's an inverter. I'm not sure if this will actually work, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try sending this one to the inverted signal, and then put it in. like that. Maybe if I just take it down in the mix a little bit, it'll sit better. So I'm not really getting a lot of variation from the so-called random pattern generator. Let's just feed him a different LFO. Yeah, that'll do. Take this out. Slow this down. I just like that variation of, I don't know what I'm doing really to get it, but I like whatever's going on here with the pattern mixing, so I'm just leaving it in. When something sounds good, you don't always have to know why. Just a little Rastaman jamming in the background of the overall dub, man. Dude. Bro. It's dub, bro. Let's give him some real... Let's listen to that for a sec. Oh, since we use so little processing power, we've got enough left over to drop a little bit of the old compressor on it. Let's compress this baby. That'll make it butter. Trust me. Here we go. This one, you can see the color is almost turning yellow here, so it means the mixer is getting stressed out at the volume level. I think I'm going to do that to reduce the total by 6 dB and then up the output post-compressor. Should be okay. And there was one more thing I said I would do. I put the digitizer on that little cord. But for example, if I go like this, it's not really giving me what I want. So let's try the filter that I had originally planned to put in there. We'll just try classic low-pass filter. I don't think these percussion oscs are sine waves in the purest sense, so the filter should still do something to them. Yeah, it's definitely... It's almost filtering them too much. Trying to make it easier by making it a lighter. Maybe keyboard tracking might help. I don't know if that applies to... Yeah, I don't know if that applies. You might need an actual keyboard to get keyboard tracking, like MIDI notes. Okay, it's doing okay. That really quietened down my chords compared to before. I'm gonna just try this old trick. Take the clock and use it to modulate the filter a little bit. Can't even really hear it. It's not really better. Let's put them back in. Maybe my overwhelming bass line is really overwhelming too much. Let's try dialing him back. Give him the 6 dB back on the thing. Be a little less compression here. course, need to go back to how it sounded before. I'm going to just put the digitizer back in the mix if that's what it takes, and that's what it takes, baby. Stop doing that. Okay, maybe feed the LFO to this guy and see what we get. Okay, that's actually good. That one note was bad. Stop being red. It just needs a little less in the amount category. That's neat. And maybe just top her off. Maybe we can go back to the reverb department. See if we can buy me a little plate reverb number 2. So now when you do that, you also have like the kick and the snare almost make like this background fuzz, like footsteps. I don't know if you can hear that. Depends what headphones you have on, I guess. Anyway, I think that's very close to what I wanted. I like the happy accident of the conga pattern. When I do these streams, I get so like conservative and worried about like, oh, it's got to sound real good, otherwise people will say it sucks, and it's like, I kind of don't want to care that it sucks. I kind of just want to say, yeah, I mean, if it sucks, it sucks. Should be saving in here. There we go. I have three number ones. One of them was never used, but this is the real number 2. I'm just going to call this something obvious, which is digital dub. I'm going to maybe back this off just a tad. Maybe in that direction. Oh, maybe this. Good, that's even better. Okay, let's just resave. And save it in the synth. Cool. Only another 97 to go. Well, as usual, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. This is the best part of my day, just talking, screaming into the void here, and making my little gray boxes do their thing. It's great to see everybody with their new gear, and God knows I'm completely GAS sufferer of gear acquisition syndrome. But it's also nice to just sit down with a box that you know how to use and just use it. That's why I've been loving that Pluto so much, because I feel like I understood it as soon as I got it out of the box. I did read the manual, but it's still very simple, and I mean that in a good way. And this too, I mean, it looks complicated, but I think anyone who looks at a modular patch has to feel intimidated, but it's not that hard. If I can do it, you can do it. So, anyway, thanks for tuning in. I will be back again and again, especially at the end of this month. I got some very long and very convoluted streams planned, so please stay tuned for that. Really do appreciate all your support. Any comments are welcome. Don't forget to get your mom to subscribe. We're having a Moms Only Subscribers Month here in the Church of Father Moo. And they can send in pictures. It's fine. It's no big deal. I'm not going to do anything with them. Digital Dub. Father Moo. See you next time.